Hello and welcome back to another match of Warhammer. As you can see, we've got a little less than 20 armies to choose from, including Alex stuff. Today it'll be Orks versus Imperial Guard. Unfortunately, however, our first Ork player, Tube, had to move to Great Britain a long time ago, and so I started to buy and collect the first Ork minis around, let's say, 20 years ago. And I think I've got all the models I need, although they aren't painted, of course. Okay, and these are my exactly 400 points of Orks. Please focus on this one, because this is the only Goth model I've painted back then. And here's my single painted Gretchen. Okay, we've got a mob of 20 Gretchen with auto pistols and knife wearing flag armor. Exactly 100 points. We've got 6 Blood Axe commandos with bull pistol, axe and sword. There's one flamer included. Let's say it's the painted one with the raised axe. And they were flag armor, dispersed information, infiltration rules. We've got 3 death skulls, but they don't have the custom combi weapons, just 3 heavy bolters. 66 points. We've got 9 Goth boys, and included, to get exactly 400, are 2 Scour boys without arms, unfortunately. And on we go with Alex army.
Okay, these are the 400 points of totally unpainted Cadian Imperial Guard list.
To be honest, this is a part of my Imperial Guard army. Alex has got a great and expertly painted Imperial Guard force.
But I think you choose the Cadian because if they play against Tyranids, because to honor the movie
Starship Troopers,
because they
resemble
almost the same helmets and so on and so forth. Okay, the army is commanded by a command squad, which include a lieutenant, which less pistol, sword and power sword. He's the only character in the whole army with carapace armor, which gives him a 4+ armor save, and furthermore he has 1 warrior card, a power field, which is quite potent but not in close combat, obviously. The 4 troopers which join him in the command squad, they all carry the weapons which are shown in the models, meaning a flamer, a plasma gun, a melter gun, and this guy carries also a flamer instead of the comlink. Furthermore, we have 2 squads of Imperial troops. The first one has an attached heavy bolter and a flamer as a special weapon, and the sergeant of the squad carries a less pistol, sword and bolt pistol, and they all have the veteran ability Dead Eye Shots.
Yeah, this might be quite handy and prove to be useful, because against Orks to be able to re-roll missed shots.
It's a quite potent vulnerability indeed. And the second squad has also a heavy bolter. Also here it's
represented by a mortar.
And the special weapon is, as shown, a plasma gun. And the sergeant of the squad carries a less gun and a sword and a power sword. Okay, these are exactly 400 points of Imperial Guards, and let's see how they perform against the Orks.
And let's see who gets more points value within 3 inches of our objective, today represented by a trapdoor to the underworld. So, both forces have deployed. As you can see, the Imperial Guard over there. I think this is the Did I Shot?
The squad, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my 2 heavy bolters that I have a fire arc
Okay.
towards
that's
the
clever.
objective, and I think I will split them off so they can't move towards the enemy, but when the enemy is in my deployment zone, then I think the game is over for good. And my command squad is on the left side,
Hidden behind the hill.
behind the hill that it
important.
can't be shot in the first turn at least. And the plan is that I almost move with everything towards the objective because it's crucial for victory.
Okay, and I've already placed them over there. These are my troops who've infiltrated the Blood Axe. I think they're not within 2 inches of the edge of the forest. Then there's a huge screen of green flesh. The mob of 20 Gretchen shielding the 9 Goth boys and the 2 Scar boys. Even the extremely ugly Goth boy. And most of my 3 Death Skulls with the heavy bolters. So let's see who goes first. In case of the Orks, they've got a stretch rating of 3, which becomes 6 as soon it's on who goes first. So I just roll.
I've got only 2, so
maybe. No, that's
I've
bad.
got 3.
Okay.
So the Orks go first.
Okay, that's the end of my first movement phase, and that's probably the end of my first turn as well, because as I've already mentioned, they're not within 2 inches of the edges of the forest and therefore won't be able to shoot at the Imperial Guard. The Gretchen mob ran, so won't be able to shoot as well. They followed them, also ran, or at least moved more than 4 inches, and they went in Overwatch, so all I can do is end my turn, my first one.
Okay guys, the Imperial Guard has moved towards the enemy. Same procedure as Marcus did before. Almost my whole army ran towards the enemy, meaning my command squad and the 2 Imperial Guard squads. The only exception are the 2 weapon teams, which were split off their squads, and the left heavy bolter went on Overwatch, although it doesn't make sense because the Imperial Guard squad has swarmed towards the enemy and thus they have no line of sight.
They obstruct the view.
Yeah, and the second heavy bolter is able to shoot at the Gretchens as closest enemy, but before they can get off a shot, I think the Orks will try their Overwatch.
This is what my expertly trained elite force of Death Skull gunner sees. Nearly nothing. Okay, but I've got a ballistic skill of 3, so we'll hit on 4s. I can shoot, or I can do some Overwatch fire at any point of time during the enemy's turn. So I'll try to get this squad.
Because it moved in this direction.
Exactly when they were in this gap over there. So I'd hit on a 4, but they've emerged from cover, obviously. So I'll only hit on a 5. So the first of the 2 heavy bolters, because the other one faces in the wrong direction. Okay, the first one on a 5, yep, hit. And the second one, no. So I've got 1 heavy bolter hit on your squad with 3 hits. Strength 5 versus toughness somewhat. I'll probably roll at least 1, but the others are dead on 2s. Oh, okay, so 3 of them should be dead because you've got a 6+ armor, 5+ against, let's say, all of your special weapons and leaders. are unharmed, just remove 3 regular guys. But I think this might result in a break test.
Okay, they have a leadership value of 7, because they are outside of the lieutenant. And they hold because they're an Imperial Guard.
I hope my mob of Gretchen will do the same after you heavy bolter.
Okay, my heavy bolter targets the closest enemy squad, which are the Gretchens. That is a skill of 3, meaning they will hit on force. But they can reroll because they're dead eye shots.
Great veteran
but
ability.
It doesn't matter because they don't hit anything.
This is really bad.
Okay, and because there's no cycle and no close combat, that's a short first turn of the Imperial Guard.
We are back after my second movement phase. As you can see, my huge mob of Gretchen advanced. The unstoppable tide, the green tide, but only with weapon skill 2, I think. And I don't have a runted. Normally this mob would be led by a runted, providing them with a better leadership, and in case of Thought or Watsnaga, they'd could be transferred to super runs, so they've only got weapon skill 2. But at least 2 attack dice because of knife and all pistol. Okay. And the mob behind them only moved. 4 of them, we've already measured, are able to use their bolt pistol onto the first squad of my Cadian Imperial Guard. And they went on Overwatch again, and they remained on Overwatch close to the target. Nearly unhittable for the Imperial Guard. So, let's do my 4 shots. Because of the ability skill 3, I will only hit on 4s, 4 bolt pistols onto them. This time we've got a regular guy, let's say a regular guy and the sergeant. On 4s, 2 of them. Let's say the first 2. And bolt pistols are strength 4 versus toughness 3. So on 3s, both of them 2 are dead. And in case of these 2, I'm not sure if you have to take a break test. It's 2 out of 8.
And 20%. No.
Okay, I'm lucky. So they flee 2d6, but the closest cover is right behind them. Okay. And I think that's it for my second turn.
Okay guys, that's the end of the second movement turn of the Imperial Guard. The Imperial Guard squad is still broken in cover, and I can try to perform a rally test at the end of your turn.
That's my third.
The command squad moved 4 inches towards the enemy in order to shot with their melter gun and their plasma gun against the Gretchens. The 2 revolters remain stationary in order to shoot at the Gretchens as well. Whereas my second Imperial Guard squad moved into the forest, thus spotting the Blood Axe commandos.
Within your initiative.
At least this guy is within 3 inches now and spotted this guy. Oops. And so, because they were in Overwatch, I can shoot at the Imperial Guard man.
I'll try my luck. I think I'll get a plus
distance
because of the bolt pistols +2.
Maybe +1 because.
But you match from cover as well.
From Overwatch.
Just see.
Okay. It hits.
Strength toughness is
3 up.
plus.
No. Okay, he survived. That was Overwatch, and the whole squad is now detected.
And we've already rolled for losing the status. I failed a leadership test, so they are no longer hidden, but I think they are still not easy to be targeted inside the forest.
No, of course.
Luckily,
I have no plasma weapons
Alex has
because
got a
of the
flamer.
one flamer.
But we looked it up and it said the troops under the flamer are only hit on the roll of a 4+. So let's do this.
So let's say maybe these two guys
Yeah,
are only hit on a 4 up, so both are hit.
both of them.
Okay. So strength 4 versus
Toughness
toughness
4.
4 plus 2 wound.
I hope they die so that
so one
we
is
won't
killed,
have to do the flame stuff.
and one is probably flamed.
Yeah, is it on the other side? No, I thought it was
Okay,
printed on the
one
rear.
guy.
It's, I think, just roll. I think this one keeps burning.
4 plus, it keeps burning.
Yeah, just roll.
No.
No.
Okay, so one guy is dead.
Which one? This one?
Or the behind him, as you wish.
Okay, let's
Maybe
remove
remove
this
the
one.
unpainted one.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think that's all is what can do, because now it's maybe more than 3 inch, so it can't be seen within the woods. They have to be within 2 inch to shoot at each other. So my remaining troops who are able to shoot will concentrate their fire on the Gretchens,
Yeah.
starting with the Welter gun on the Gretchen
On a 4.
to hit on the 4.
Yep.
Yes.
Strength toughness 2+.
Yes.
One is down.
One is melted down. Then the plasma gun also at the Gretchens will hit on a 4+. No.
If you want to do so, you can still roll your Assassin Fire dice.
No, I disagree with this proposal.
You decline. Okay.
Then my heavy bolter.
First one.
At the Gretchens. Yeah, he hits
Two
this time.
Assassin Fire dice.
Yeah. Causing 4 hits in
Oh,
total.
that's great. So 4 within
Maybe
3 inches or
go
4 inches
3
of this
dice.
one. Okay.
Let's say 2 on this guy. And 2 on the other guys.
So there's a gap, and I'll have to move in order to get into squad coherency
And then
next
my
time.
last heavy bolt, which is able to shoot at the Gretchens, but he doesn't hit. Okay, I think there's
I've lost
no
4.
break test because you have 20 guys. I killed 4.
5 would have been 25%.
20, only 20%.
Oh.
Okay, and I think that's the end of my second turn.
Okay, we are back after my third movement phase. As you can see, my Blood Axe commandos charged the enemy away from our target or objective, whereas the Gretchen moved in order to be able to use their auto pistols onto the Imperial Guards command squad, and behind them my Goth mob also just moved in order for some of them, only 2 of them, to be able to use their bull pistols, whereas they still remained on Overwatch, just to be sure if a stray gargoyle turned creature suddenly appears out of nowhere. Okay, we've already measured it, and 2 of my Goths are able to use their bolt pistols and shoot at the command squad. With capability skill of 3, so will only hit on 4s. No. And we've got 6 out of the Gretchen mob. 2 of them will get the +2 short range target for their auto pistols.
Meaning they will hit
So
probably 1.
4 is their normal because of ballistic skill 3. So now it's 2 plus 2 of them. 1 of them. Strength 3 versus toughness 3 is on 4s. No.
And then 4 Gretchens.
4 regular ones
Hitting on 4.
hitting on 4s.
So 2 of them.
2 of them.
And wounding on 4s as well.
Yeah. So, and it's time, I think, for another break test.
No, that's not.
9.
That's too much because the lieutenant has only 8. So
that's a Warhammer problem.
Okay.
So they flee 2d6 towards the closest cover, probably behind.
Already behind cover.
Okay.
Okay, then on to the close combat, I think. Where do you want to
it's
start
a
with?
regular model. I think it's
Okay, that's a sergeant with one of your
regular guys.
Blood X commandos.
2 dice.
Me as well.
Oh, it's great for you. I've got a bolt pistol and a sword.
I've got a sword and a bolt pistol as well. So I've got 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10.
And I've got 4 plus 3 is 7, charging 8. So you've got 2 hits with your bolt pistol.
4 versus toughness 4, meaning force to wound. No. Okay, this combat is resolved. And on this poor Imperial Guardsman are 2 Blood X commandos, and he has only a less skill, so 1 attack dice.
You get a 1 from me. I've got 8, charging 9.
I've got 8.
So I've got 1 hit, let's say, with my bolt pistol, strength toughness 3 plus.
Yeah.
He's dead. And I'll use my follow-up on 2 different ones.
Okay.
They can't do follow-ups because they don't have any opponents. So,
okay, then at the end of your turn, I try to rally those Imperial Guard squad with neither 7 or less. Yes.
Well done. Congrats.
Rally. Okay, at least one positive message at the end of the 3rd octa. Back at the end of the movement phase of the once mighty Imperial Guard. The 2 Hellbolters remain stationary in order to shoot. The command squad is still broken and can try their rally test at the end of this turn. The rallied Imperial Guard squad ran 8 inches towards the objective marker in order to reach it at the end of the 4th turn, probably. And the Imperial Guard stayed in close combat, except the guy with the flamer who shoots at the 2 guys in the wood with his flaming device. And then I think we can start with the shooting phase. He will only hit on 4 plus because of the woods. So 1 is hit with a strength 4 versus toughness, force to wound. No. Set a flame. Yes. So one of the orcs is flamed. Let's say the unpainted one. And then I'll shoot with the revolver at the Gretchens once more. No, that eye shots. Yes.
Yeah.
How many hits?
It's one of the best veteran
2
abilities.
hits, yeah. So 2 different Gretchens, meaning
2 plus.
2s to kill. So 2 are dead. Then this revolver tries to shoot at the Gretchens as well. Hitting on force. No. Okay, that's the end of my third
Nearly.
turn. I tried to rally those guys.
Yeah, it's close combat.
Sorry. Yeah, of course. Okay. The sergeant stayed in close combat with stiff orc. So I got 3 plus 6.
Oh, and I've got 7.
Okay, 1 hit.
1 hit with the bolt pistol. Yeah.
Okay. This guy's dead.
And I do a follow-up move towards your flamer, but
okay.
I think...
So the first one I've got 5. You got definitely more. Let's say 10, so 5 hits. On force, but I think it will be too much for the poor trooper. In this close combat I got 4 plus 3 is 7, 8. You got 10, so 2 hits. Killing on force.
Okay, let's do follow-ups, but I think you can fire first, I'm not sure.
As well. Okay. Then at the end my rally phase. I tried to rally those because the lieutenant has an issue of 8. He probably succeeded in rallying the command squad, which he does. Okay, that's the end of my third turn and on to the last turn of the Orks.
Okay, we are back after my fourth movement phase. As you can see, they remained on our watch, whereas the bloodthirsty Gretchen mob charged, and they just moved a little towards the enemy, unable to use their bolt pistols because all of their opponents within range are probably engaged in close combat. Okay, let's start over there. We've got...
Okay, 2 guys made a follow-up and 1 charge.
Yeah, let's do the charger first.
Okay. So I got 7.
10 charging 11.
So 5 hits, killing on force, so probably that,
Yeah. But this will result in being punished by a heavy bolter next turn. No matter... Okay, I might do a follow-up within cover of the forest, but the others, I think, are too far away. Okay, so now we've got the important ones, the mighty Gretchen assault.
This guy? Okay. So I got,
oh, that's great. I've got 6 plus 2 is 8, charging is 9.
I've got 9 as well and have an initiative of 3.
And I've got 2, so you've got 1 hit.
Hooray.
Might kill this one.
Yeah, 1 Gretchen down. Okay, then to your second attacker.
Yeah.
I got 5 plus 3 is 8.
Got a third dice.
8.
Now I've got 10. Yeah, now I've got 2 plus 4 is 6, charging 7, second attacker 8. So you've got another hit. Or 2 hits.
On force.
I've got toughness 3. So this one remains in close combat. I've lost 1 out of many.
There's a power sword and a sword.
So he's got 2 dice and 2 parries, whereas I don't have any parries.
9.
You can make me parry.
Okay, I can reroll the 6.
I've got 6 charging 7.
I've got 9.
So you've got 2 hits with your power sword.
Meaning 2s to kill a Gretchen.
This one is dead.
And attacker. I got 6 plus 3 is 9.
And you
10.
can make me re-roll my 5.
Okay.
I've got 6, 7, bless you, 8. Yeah, 8. So you've got 2 hits with your power sword once more. Okay, and now you've dropped 3 Gretchen out of the remaining... How many?
Let's do this close combat first and then we can check.
The last one.
Okay, I've got 8.
I've got 4, charging 6, 7.
So 1 hit, wounding on force, no. Okay.
Oh, I thought they'd be much better because of the 2 close combat weapons and stuff like that. So, how many of them have I lost out of...
14 and we lost 3 or 14.
Okay, 3 would be 25% out of 12. So as these are 14, it's not enough.
No.
If I'm sure.
No.
Okay, so no break test.
That was your last turn, I think.
No, my final turn.
Okay, that's the final turn of the Imperial Guard and the final turn of the game itself. My Imperial Guard squad, the sergeant charged this Gretchen, 1 trooper charged this Gretchen. Yeah. My command squad moved 4 inches in order to get off the 2 flamers.
Well, this was a clever turn because you still kept your line of sight of the 2 heavy bolters clear.
But this one has to shoot at those guys because they close the squad. So
no, because some of them are into cover and you can ignore them because of another squad.
Yeah, but let's start with the shooting phase. The flamer We already checked. I think it's hitting 4
Okay.
corrections, as you can see.
So 4 rolls of strength 4 versus toughness 3
They're
on
only
3s.
So 1 is dead.
And 3 4+ rolls for flames. Oh, let's do the other one.
But it doesn't make, because it's the last turn. So 1 is flame, but it doesn't make any further.
And the second one, that's another 4. Or is it even 5?
No, 4. Let's say 4. So 2.
2 more. And now we've got to take a break test. Oh, that's really bad, 11. So now my little ones engaged in close combats will try to flee, as well as the others towards the closest cover, 10 inches. And therefore you'll get 3 hex onto them.
Okay, which means that I can...
I've got a weapon skill. So it's close combat. And we are doing the shooting phase, but we'll do it anyway. So I've got a weapon skill of 0, and you've got your normal weapon skill.
Okay, I've got 6.
And I've
7.
got 2. So you've got
5 hits in total.
3 hex with your last pistol on force.
Force, no.
That's bad. Okay, but the other one will be better. You've got an additional dice,
Second attacker.
+1.
Okay. I've got 6 plus 3 is 9, charging 10.
I've got
Second
3.
attacker 11. Okay, let's just roll.
Okay, this one is still for sure. Got lots of less pit.
Then let's start with the sergeant, which charged. Oh,
And you can make me parry probably. I've got a weapon skill of 0, so
once
I've
more.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I've got 2.
2 plus 3 is 5, charging 6, so 4 hits with the power sword.
Oh,
Killing
this one is
aggression.
done. Okay,
The other aggression's free 10 inch.
towards cover, the closest cover. But let's say out of not within 3 inches of our objective.
Okay, that was those squad. Death squad, so I only
Now
have
you
the
can
2
target.
bolters left.
Now,
Let's start with,
now you can target my govs.
with this heavy bolter.
Maybe you're lucky.
Govs.
Yeah, you only need to break them for draw.
Okay, hitting on force. No.
And the other one.
And this guy. And can he ignore the blood X because they're the closest?
Because some of them are in cover.
Okay.
And the other one is in the open.
Completely the
So
open.
yeah, there are no modifiers when shooting onto this one.
Okay, then I try
I
to
try
take
this
off
one.
Orks.
On a 4 and a lucky sustained fire dice
Yeah.
roll. Yeah. Okay, 2 sustained fire dice for
I
you.
need maybe 6 hits in order to remove
I
them
think
from the objective marker.
3 dead ones are okay.
So 2.
No, this is probably not enough. Let's see.
Wounding on 3s. So 2 are dead.
2 out of 11.
That's not enough for a break test. Let's remove them for good. So I think that's the end of the battle. I think the Gretchen's counter is completely wiped out because they were broken at the end of the game. But as you can see clearly, the Orks have securely achieved the objective marker,
It was
thus
close.
winning the game. Congratulations to the Orks.
Thank you. Okay, I was really lucky that none of my, not squads, but mobs broke, because earlier, because even the Goth boys or Scar boys or Blood X in leadership isn't very high. They only did 1 lucky hit in the beginning of the battle, forcing them to do a leadership test, which they failed, which was another probably event of turns for me. And from the Imperial Gods point of view, I think
I think it's not a bad army, but they weren't able to cause enough damage to cause break tests in your army. Especially at the Gretchens, I have to take out at least 5 guys out of 20 to cause you to perform a break test, and I achieved it only in my last turn. Either the heavy bolter did not hit or failed to wound enough of them. And the second drawback of the Imperial Guard in this game was that they almost failed a leadership test, so the command squad and the Imperial Guard squad were forced to fall back and not advance towards the objective marker. As well, I think it was a clever idea to put your Blood Axe commandos inside the woods, because they hindered the movement of the second Imperial Guard squad, because they were forced to perform a search and destroy operation inside the woods, and were subsequently charged by the Blood Axe and wiped out completely. So I think it was a game which is really hard to win for the Imperial Guard because of the model count of the Orks.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Imperial Guard versus Tyranids against 50 models, but I think it strongly depends on who goes first. Because if the Imperial Guard, especially with the Dead Eye Shots squad, is able to go first, then they might really break the gargoyles, for example, and then go on Overwatch before the Hormagaunts charge. But that's something which will follow. Thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
See you.